Say it again. Say that you're the only one drowning in this house.
You want me to say it? Fine. I feel like a failure every time I walk through that door. I fight all day out there, and I come home to feel judged in my own house.
You think this pressure's yours alone? Look at this house. Look at your son.
There are houses that look perfect from the outside. The lawn is trimmed, the curtains are clean, the smiles appear on social media, but inside those same walls, silence grows heavy, pressure builds quietly, words go unsaid, pride replaces vulnerability, and love slowly gets buried under stress. No one plans for their family to drift apart. No one stands at the altar and imagines arguments that shake the walls. No parent looks at their child and thinks, one day, our pain will live in their heart. And yet, it happens. Not because people stop loving each other, but because pain gets louder than prayer. In this story, you will see a father carrying pressure he never learned how to release, a mother fighting to hold a home together while her own strength fades, and a child who believes heaven listens even when adults don't. This is not just their story, it might be yours, because behind closed doors, many families are fighting battles no one else can see. Tonight, we ask one question: what happens when the prayer no one noticed becomes the only thing holding a family together? This is the prayer they ignored until it saved them.
Do you hear yourself sometimes? Every time I walk into this house it feels like I'm stepping into a courtroom where the verdict is already decided. Bills laid out like exhibits, silence hanging in the air like cross-examination, and the look on your face, that look, like I've already failed before I've even taken off my shoes. I spend my entire day being measured on productivity, performance and profit. I sit in rooms where everyone pretends confidence while quietly fighting for survival. I shake hands with people who would replace me in a second if the numbers dip. I carry that pressure in my chest all day, and when I open this door, I don't find relief. I find another reminder that I'm behind.
You talk about feeling judged. But do you know what it feels like to live with someone who's always one breath away from snapping? To measure your words carefully so they don't trigger another explosion.
Do you know what it does to a man to feel like he's disappointing the people he loves the most? To sit in his car for 5 minutes before coming inside because he needs to gather himself.
I don't know which version of you is coming home anymore, the silent one, the angry one, or the distant one, and yes, Eli sees it. He watches you like he's trying to decode you. He studies your tone. He listens for changes in your footsteps. He's learning what tension sounds like before he even understands what it means. You don't get to call yourself the only one drowning. We're all in this water.
What did I miss? What am I not doing right? And then walk into a house that feels like it's keeping score. I'm tired, Ruth. Not tired like I need sleep. Tired like I don't recognize myself anymore. Every step I take in here feels heavy. Every conversation feels like a test. And I am suffocating under the weight of trying to be enough for everyone and failing anyway.
You think you're the only one suffocating. You think this house doesn't weigh on me too. I wake up before the alarm most days because my mind is already racing. What's due, what's overdue, what needs stretching, what needs sacrificing. I watch prices rise while our income stays stuck. I smile at Eli so he doesn't see fear in my eyes. I hold this place together with quiet adjustments you don't even notice, and then you walk in carrying your frustration like a storm cloud and expect me to absorb it without reacting.
You think I don't see the strain on your face. You think I don't notice the way you've started bracing yourself when I talk. That kills me, but I don't know how to stop it. Every day feels like walking a tightrope with no safety. You say you're holding this house together. I believe you, but I feel like I'm the one holding up the foundation, and the cracks keep spreading anyway. I'm scared, Ruth. Scared that one bad decision at work could ripple through everything. Scared that I'm one mistake away from proving everyone right about my limitations. So yes, I come home tense. Because I don't know how to set it down. I don't know how to walk in here and pretend I'm not carrying the weight of keeping this family afloat.
And I don't know how to reach you anymore. You say you're scared, but you never say that until you're yelling. You never sit down and say, I'm overwhelmed. You just shut down or lash out. You say you're carrying the foundation, but the house isn't just built on money. It's built on connection, on presence, on safety. When you raise your voice, the air changes. When you go silent for days, the air changes. Eli feels it before I do sometimes. He gets quieter. He watches more. He asks fewer questions. I married a man who talked to me. Who shared his doubts. Who didn't treat vulnerability like weakness. Somewhere along the line, you decided emotions were a liability, and now we live with the consequences of that decision every day.
I didn't decide that lightly, I learned it. I learned that showing cracks invites pressure. That if you hesitate, someone else steps forward. That if you admit fear, people question your ability. I've been training myself for years to stay composed under fire, but I didn't realize I was bringing that battlefield home. I didn't realize that trying to be unbreakable would make me unreachable. I look at Eli sometimes and wonder if he sees strength or just anger. I look at you and wonder if you're counting how many more years you can tolerate this version of me, and the worst part, I don't even know how to fix it without risking everything else.
This isn't about risking everything else. This is about losing everything right here. You keep talking like the threat is outside this house. Like the danger is at work. But the damage is happening here. In these conversations. In these silences. You think you're protecting us by carrying everything alone. But what you're actually doing is isolating yourself until we don't recognize you anymore. And I can't keep doing this, Daniel. I can't keep pretending this tension is normal. I can't keep watching our son internalize conflict like it's background noise. If something doesn't change, this doesn't hold.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying I'm tired of fighting you instead of fighting with you.
Wait, are they fighting again? Why can't they just be okay?
I can't breathe in this house anymore, Ruth. Every conversation feels like a courtroom. Every sentence feels like an attack. I don't even recognize us. Where are my car keys?
So running away is your solution now.
You think this is running? No, this is survival. Because if I stay another 5 minutes, I'm going to say something I can't take back. You say I don't listen. But do you hear yourself? Every time I try to explain how I feel, you twist it into something else. I'm tired of defending myself in my own home.
And I'm tired of feeling alone in a marriage where my husband is physically present but emotionally gone.
You know what? Maybe I am gone. Maybe I checked out the day I realized no matter what I do, it's never enough for you.
Daniel, don't walk out like this.
I work all day. I carry the pressure. I try to provide. And somehow I'm still the villain. How did we get here? When did loving her become walking on eggshells? She thinks I don't care. She has no idea how much I care. That's the problem. I care so much that it hurts. But every time I open my mouth, it turns into a fight. I'm tired of feeling like I'm failing at the one thing that's supposed to be my safe place. I don't want to lose her, but I don't know how to win with her.
He always leaves. Every time it gets hard, he leaves. Why does he leave? She stops, looks at the closed door. I'm not attacking you, Daniel. I'm hurting. Why can't you see that I'm hurting? I shouldn't have said that. But he shouldn't have said that either. Maybe I checked out. What does that even mean? Checked out. After everything we built. After the promises. After the nights we prayed together. You don't just check out. Why does it feel like I'm fighting alone? Why does it feel like I'm begging for emotional connection from my own husband? What if one day he doesn't come back after driving off?
God, I'm here again. The house is quiet tonight, but the quiet feels heavy. It presses against my chest, makes it hard to breathe normally. Something is wrong in our home. Not broken furniture, not missing food, not darkness in the rooms. Something inside the people I love has shifted. Voices that once sounded warm now sound careful. Footsteps used to mean comfort, now they mean uncertainty. Even laughter feels like it has to push through something. I hear more than they think. I hear pauses before answers. I hear sighs that try to stay silent. I hear doors close more slowly than before, as though someone is deciding something inside. That frightens me. There was a time when this house felt steady. Dinner was simple but peaceful. Conversations flowed without sharp edges. Now every discussion feels like walking across thin glass. I keep wondering where the first crack began. Was it something small that no one noticed? A disappointment left unspoken? A dream that did not happen? A burden carried too long without help? Whatever it is growing. And I am watching it grow. I do not want to grow up learning that love fades under pressure. I do not want to believe that promises weaken when life becomes difficult. What I see now is teaching me something, shaping something in me. Protect what is being shaped. When my father sits alone, silence around him, thoughts far away, reach him there. When my mother turns her face so no one sees the tears, Stand beside her there. Enter the spaces between their words, soften what pride has tightened, calm what frustration has stirred. This house feels like it is holding its breath. Release it. Fear keeps circling my mind. Packing bags. Dividing weekends. Living in two places that never feel complete. That future sits too close to my imagination. Move it away. Two people once chose each other with certainty. Remind them of that certainty. Remind them of the early days when hope felt stronger than obstacles. Pain has been speaking loudly. Let wisdom speak louder. Hurt has been building walls. Let humility open doors. There is tension I cannot fix, conversations I cannot join, wounds I cannot see. You see them. Go there. Into the memories that still ache. Into the disappointments never fully healed. Into the expectations that quietly broke. Do not allow temporary storms to create permanent distance. Every argument shakes something inside me. Not enough to collapse everything, but enough to weaken something small. Small things matter. A child's understanding of love. A child's sense of safety. A child's belief that home is permanent. Guard those things. Riches are not necessary. Grand celebrations are not required. Peace is enough. Stability is enough. A meal eaten without tension is enough. Restore that. Strengthen patience where tempers have shortened. Replace harsh tones with gentleness. Replace assumptions with listening. Where pride stands tall, lower it. Where exhaustion clouds judgment, clear it. Where disappointment has hardened hearts, soften them. I am placing this entire weight in your hands because it is too heavy for mine. Carry my father's frustration. Carry my mother's weariness. Carry the silence growing between them. Carry the fear growing inside me. Turn what feels fragile into something firm again. Tonight, remain in this house. In the hallway. In their room. In the space between thoughts. When morning comes, let there be a shift. Small but real. Quiet but strong. I do not need a sign in the sky. I need change in this home. Hold this family together. Strengthen what is weak. Repair what is cracked. Preserve what still stands. I trust you with what matters most to me. Please stay close. Amen.
Daniel, I'm not going to pretend this is just stress. I've known you long enough to see the difference. Stress makes you focused. This makes you distant. You look like a man who feels trapped but doesn't want to admit it because admitting it would sound ungrateful. You built this life with pride. You used to talk about your home like it was your greatest achievement. Now you talk about it like it's something you manage. That shift didn't happen overnight. Tell me honestly, when you go home, do you feel peace, or do you prepare yourself mentally before walking in?
I prepare myself, not because I don't love my family. I do. That's what makes this harder. I wake up thinking about responsibilities before my feet touch the floor. Bills, school fees, deadlines, future plans. I carry those quietly because that's what I'm supposed to do. Then I get home and instead of feeling understood, I feel measured. If I'm tired, it's emotional absence. If I'm quiet, it's distance. If I defend myself, it becomes an argument. I'm not trying to withdraw. I'm trying to survive without breaking. But somewhere along the way, I stopped feeling like a partner and started feeling like a defendant explaining myself, and I hate that I feel that way.
That's exactly my point. Marriage should not feel like court. You shouldn't feel like you're constantly being evaluated. I'm not saying she's the enemy. I'm saying something is broken in the dynamic. And when a man begins to feel unseen in his own house, resentment grows quietly. You keep absorbing everything: financial pressure, emotional expectations, guilt. That kind of load changes a person. 5 years from now, if nothing shifts, you won't be this conflicted. You'll be numb. And numb men don't lead well. They function, they provide, but they stop connecting. So I'm asking you, are you staying because you believe it can heal, or because you're afraid of what stepping back would look like?
It's not fear of appearance. It's fear of consequence. I made vows. I stood in front of people and promised permanence. I have a son who watches how I respond to pressure. If I create distance, even temporarily, I risk shaking his sense of security, but I'll admit something I haven't said out loud. Sometimes I imagine having space, and the thought feels relieving. That scares me. Relief shouldn't come from separation. It should come from resolution. I don't want to abandon my family. I also don't want to disappear inside it, so I'm stuck between protecting my home and protecting myself. And I don't know which one I'm slowly losing.
If nothing changes, you lose both. Indifference ends marriages more than arguments ever do.
Think I don't know what suffocating feels like. I feel it every single day. Every night I lie awake, thinking about how to hold this family together while you bury yourself under the weight of being enough. You've let pride cage you, Daniel. You've built walls so high that Eli and I can't reach you. You think strength is carrying everything silently, but all it does is break the people you love. I've watched you fall apart and refuse help, and I'm scared. I'm terrified of what happens if one day you break completely and there's no one left to catch you. Eli needs to see his father, not a man consumed by fear and frustration. He needs a family that fights together, not a father who drifts into silence while the world presses in. Do you hear me, Daniel? He's watching. He feels it. Every night he goes to sleep wondering if we'll still be okay tomorrow.
You don't understand, I've tried. Every single day, I've tried. Tried to shield you, tried to be strong, tried to hold everything together without letting the cracks show. But the cracks are everywhere, Ruth. Everywhere. I wanted to be the man who keeps this family safe from the world and from himself, but the harder I try, the more I realize I'm failing at both. I see Eli looking up at me sometimes, and I wonder if he's afraid of me. I see you watching me, and I fear you losing the man you married. I wanted to be someone you could trust to hold it all together, but I feel hollow. Empty. Broken. I don't know how to come back from this. And every day I try, I feel like I'm running out of air, running out of hope, running out of time.
You are not hollow. You are not broken beyond repair. You're here. You're breathing. You're still fighting. That's all that matters right now. This house isn't failing because of what you can't control. It's failing because love has been buried under fear and pride. Eli doesn't need perfection. He needs you. Present, messy, exhausted, angry, afraid. He needs you alive in this house, fighting with us. It's not about fixing everything at once. It's about showing up, talking, listening, and letting the love in this house outweigh the weight outside. We can start again. Step by step, together. You don't have to do this alone anymore.
I want that. I want to start again. I don't know how, but I want it.
Do you hear yourself sometimes? Every time I walk in this house, it feels like I'm walking into a courtroom. Bills scattered like evidence of failure, silence that feels like judgment, eyes that look at me like I'm already guilty of something I haven't even done yet. Do you know what it's like to fight all day and come home only to feel smaller than before you even enter the door? To wake up each morning thinking, what else will I have failed at today? And then see your family's eyes on you, expecting you to be whole, perfect, unshakable. I can't do it, Ruth. I can't breathe here. Every step I take in this house, I feel like I'm drowning, and there's no one to throw me a lifeline. You don't get it because you haven't carried the shame I carry, the fear I carry, the constant weight of knowing I'm supposed to be enough, but feeling like I'm failing at everything.
You think you're the only one suffering. Do you really think I don't see the struggle? I wake up every day with the weight of this house pressing down on me. Bills, chores, Eli, the food, the school, and the constant fear that one wrong step will topple everything. And you carry it silently and explode when it becomes too much for you to hold. I see the tension in your face every day. I hear it in your voice. And I'm tired of walking on eggshells around a man I married, not a stranger trapped by pressure. Eli notices Daniel. He watches you like a lighthouse watching a storm, and he's scared. He's watching his father, and he doesn't understand why the man who promised to protect him looks like he's crumbling. Do you think hiding your pain shields anyone? It doesn't. It spreads. It infects the whole house.
You don't understand the pressure, Ruth. Every day at work is a battlefield. Every meeting, every number, every deadline is another test of whether I'm enough. And no matter what I do, it's never enough. I come home hoping for relief, and I find tension, disappointment, a house that feels like a trap. I wanted to protect you, to shield Eli, to be the man you married. But the harder I try, the more I feel like I'm dragging everyone under with me. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about how I failed again, and again, and I don't know how to stop it. And now, even my own house feels hostile. The silence is louder than any argument, Ruth. Louder than any storm outside. I'm suffocating.
That is Mum and Dad again. What could be the problem this time?
My love, you've been quiet all evening. More than usual. I've watched you stare at the TV without seeing it, and I've listened to your sighs, the ones you think I don't hear. What's going on? I can't ignore that something has shifted. You're not just tired, are you?
It's complicated, Ruth. Some days, I feel like I'm carrying more than I can ever put into words. Bills, responsibilities, work stress, and then coming home, I feel like I have to perform again. Explain myself, justify myself, keep everything in balance like the house isn't already heavy.
I know you work hard. You always have. But this quiet, this distance, it's not just about work, is it? It's something more than exhaustion. I feel it in how you speak, in how you sit, I feel you retreating. And I'm scared, Daniel. Scared for us, for Eli, for the home we promised each other.
I don't want to hurt you. I don't want Eli to notice that his home is different. But every day, I come in and I wonder if anything I do makes a difference anymore. I try to connect, to talk, to laugh, but every effort feels measured, weighed, examined. And when I don't measure up, the silence grows louder than words.
Daniel, I feel it too. Not from you, I feel it from me. From myself. I feel like I'm walking through a fog, trying to protect Eli, trying to protect us, but I'm scared that the fog is only getting thicker. I see your frustration, your exhaustion, and I feel my own. And the harder we try, the further apart we seem to get.
I don't know what to do. I've thought about stepping back, about creating space to breathe, to see clearly. But the moment I consider it, guilt hits me like a storm. Eli, this home, the thought of causing pain makes me feel trapped. But staying as we are, it's slowly breaking something inside me too.
I know, I feel it too. I feel the weight of what's unsaid, the arguments we avoid, the tension we carry silently. I want to protect Eli from pain, from fear, but maybe by hiding our struggles, we're teaching him that silence is how problems are solved. That pretending is love. And I can't let him grow up thinking that.
I promised him stability. I promised him a home. But tonight, as I sit here with you, I wonder if I'm failing both of you simply by surviving. I try to be strong, but maybe surviving isn't enough anymore. Maybe I need something else. Something I don't know how to name yet.
Then tell me what you need. Tell me what we need. I can't fix this alone. I'm not stronger than this. I'm just as afraid as you are. I don't want us to collapse, Daniel. Not now, not ever. I need us to fight together, not drift apart silently.
I don't have the answers tonight. I don't know if I'll have them tomorrow. But I do know that if we don't speak, if we don't face this together, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I can't let silence destroy what we built. I can't let fear decide the shape of our home. Ruth reaches across the coffee table, placing her hand over his. He doesn't pull away, but the tension remains. Both sit in heavy, reflective silence.
Mom, Dad, I don't understand. I hear you both talking, but it's not like the usual talks. You're angry, or sad, or something. I can't tell, but I feel it. It's heavy. It's like it's pressing on the walls of the house. I don't sleep well when it's like this. I can't stop thinking that maybe something bad is happening.
Eli, sweetie, it's nothing bad. We're just talking through grown-up things. Sometimes adults have worries, and we have to figure them out. It's not your fault.
But I can feel it. I pray. I beg God to help, but I still hear it. I hear your voices stop and start. I hear sighs, and I hear silence that's louder than talking. I think something is wrong. Something that maybe even God is trying to fix, but you're too caught up to notice.
Eli, you're right. There is tension. But it's complicated. Some things grown-ups have to handle on their own. You're not supposed to carry this burden. Not yet. Not at your age.
I'm not carrying the burden alone. I feel it. I can't ignore it. I watch you, Mom. I watch you, Dad. And I can see, you're both hurting. And I don't want to see you hurt. And I can't just pray and hope. I need you to fix it. I need you to talk. Really talk. Like you used to. Like we're a family. Not like strangers who happen to live together.
Eli, you're braver than I realized. You've been noticing everything, and you care so much that it hurts you too. That is a gift, my son. But sometimes the weight is too heavy even for parents. And we make mistakes in carrying it. But you remind us that we can't stop trying.
Eli, your mum is right. I've been carrying so much. I've been trying to be strong, to protect this home, to protect you, but in doing that, I've forgotten to protect the part of me that matters most. I've let fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong choice, I've let all of that shape how I act in this house. And it's not fair to you. It's not fair to your mum. And I see that now, because of you.
Then don't just see it. Do something. Talk. Fix it, please. I can't sleep when it's like this. I can't feel safe. I pray, and I hear your voices, but I don't hear love. I don't hear peace. And I can't do it alone.
Daniel, he's right. He's seeing the truth. We've been holding it in, letting pride and fear guide us. And it's been hurting everyone. Even Eli. We can't keep pretending it's okay.
You're right, both of you are right. I've been so focused on what I think I have to do, that I've forgotten why I'm doing it. I forgot that love isn't measured by how much we endure silently. It's measured by how present we are, how honest we are, how we face it together. Eli, I promise you, I will try. I will talk. I will listen. Not just hear. I will be here, truly here.
Really try. Not just say it.
Really.
Then let's start tonight. No more pretending. No more hiding. For Eli.
Please, God, help Daddy and Mommy love each other again, even when they argue.
My son, praying, what have I done? I raised my voice like I was protecting them, like I was teaching strength, but all I taught was fear, and he, my little boy, he's praying for us, praying because he's scared, praying because I made him scared in his own home. How long have I been blind to this? I wanted to be the father who makes them feel safe, but I've been the storm, every slammed door, every sharp word, every cold look, it all landed on him, and I never saw it, never noticed the weight on his small shoulders. Eli, he doesn't need words from me right now, he doesn't need my explanations, he needs me to see him. To feel the pain I caused. I've been blind to the fear in his eyes, blind to the hurt my anger caused, blind to the love he still has, for me. God, how did it get this far? How did my pride, my frustration, my exhaustion, make him pray for me, for us, like that? A child shouldn't have to bear this. I wanted to protect him from pain, but I created it. What kind of father am I? What kind of husband am I, if my son prays to save us from me? I thought anger was power, but anger is destruction, and I've destroyed, how many nights for him? How many times did he go to bed scared, thinking our family could break at any moment? I didn't even notice the silence, I didn't see the heaviness in his chest, I didn't see the fear in Mommy's eyes, the exhaustion she hid. My words, all my frustrations, landed on him, the child I love more than life itself, and here he is, kneeling, praying, asking God to fix the father who caused the pain. Lord, forgive me for making him feel so small, for making her feel invisible, for making our family a battlefield instead of a home. He leans back in the chair, hands shaking. Long pause. He closes his eyes. I can't undo the anger. I can't erase the doors slammed. I can't rewind the nights filled with shouting, but I can change. I can start now. I will stop raising my voice. I will stop letting frustration rule me. I will speak with love, even when I'm tired. I will see them. Really see them. I will be present. Truly present. I wanted strength to look like control, like dominance, like being the man in charge, but all that did was break hearts, including my own. I've been blind to the exhaustion in her eyes, to the quiet weight in his small chest, and it's my fault. I can't do this alone. I can't just will patience or hope into existence. I can't fix years of tension, just by apologizing. I need help. It's already late. I will call in, first thing tomorrow. Let me get some sleep. Thank you God, for a new day. Least I forget, I have to call the counselor this morning. Hello, this is Daniel Miles. I need to speak to a counselor. Yes, I've realized I need help. Not tomorrow, today, for my family.
Mr. Miles, thank you for reaching out. I need to be upfront. Counseling works best when both partners are present. A session with only one party can help for reflection, but the full effect for your marriage requires your wife to attend.
I really have to convince her to come. I need her there. I can't do this alone. I can't just fix things in my head. She needs to see I'm serious. We need help. We need guidance, together.
Hello, Mr. Daniel, are you still there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am here. I will talk to my wife, and we'll schedule the first session together. Thank you very much, Mrs. Miriam. Speaking about my wife, where is she? I need to discuss this counseling issue with her. Good morning, my beautiful wife. Please, can we talk?
Good morning, Daniel. Talk about what? Another lecture?
No lectures, no shouting. Just me, talking. Honestly, I have realized something last night, something I should have realized a long time ago. Please, can you sit for a few minutes? I made him scared. I made Eli, our son, scared in his own home. And you've been carrying it too. I raised my voice. I slammed doors. I let frustration rule me. And he prayed for us, because he felt helpless. A 9-year-old, praying for his parents, to fix what I broke. I can't undo the past, but I can start today. I want to fix this. I want to fix us.
Daniel, it's not just Eli. It's me too. I've been tired. I've been exhausted. Every day it feels like I'm walking on eggshells, waiting for the next explosion. I don't need perfection. I need presence. I need to know you see me. You hear me. You feel what I feel.
I know, and I've failed. I've been blind, deaf, and selfish. I thought being strong meant being in control, but all I've done is hurt the people I love most. I called a counselor last night. I need help. I can't fix this alone, and the counselor said it only works if we both attend.
So, you want me to come?
Yes, I need you there. I can't do this without you. I know I've made mistakes, and I can't just apologize and expect things to change. I want guidance. I want us to rebuild, together, for Eli. For us. For this family.
You really mean that?
Yes, I mean it with everything I am. I've seen what anger and pride can do, and I don't want to see our family break anymore.
Okay, we'll try, but I need to know this isn't just words. I need to feel it. Daniel reaches across the table, gently taking her hand.
I know, I'll show you, not just say it, step by step, no rushing. No excuses, I'll do whatever it takes to heal this. Thank you for accepting to go with me. I will book a session with the counselor.
You're welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Daniel, to this counseling session.
Thank you, Mrs. Miriam.
Daniel, Ruth, before we discuss strategies or solutions, I want to speak to both of you not as a professional analyzing a case, but as a human being observing two people who are exhausted from carrying pain in silence. I see a father who feels he has lost authority in his own home, and I see a mother who feels she has lost connection with her son. Neither of you is evil. Neither of you is careless. But both of you are wounded. Daniel, you speak from a place of fear. You fear that if you loosen your grip, everything will collapse. You fear that if Eli makes the wrong decisions, the world will punish him in ways you cannot undo. So you respond with control, structure, firmness, and sometimes harshness. In your mind, discipline equals protection. In your heart, love equals correction. But what your son may be hearing is not protection. He may be hearing rejection. Ruth, you speak from a place of empathy. You see Eli's struggle. You feel his silence. You sense his confusion. You want to shield him from pressure and from disappointment. You want him to know he is loved without conditions. But sometimes when protection becomes constant rescue, a child begins to believe that he cannot stand on his own. The problem in your home is not a lack of love. It is a lack of alignment. Your son is standing between two different expressions of love that are pulling in opposite directions. He does not know which voice to follow. So he withdraws. He becomes quiet. He prays alone because he does not feel safe speaking openly. Daniel, tell me something honestly. When was the last time you asked your son how he feels without correcting him in the same conversation?
I provide for my family. I work long hours so my son can have opportunities I never had. I have sacrificed comfort, time, and rest to make sure his future is secure. When I speak firmly, it is because I know what failure looks like. I have lived it. I do not want him to learn lessons the hard way, but I will admit something here. I do not always ask him how he feels. I ask about his grades, his plans, his discipline, his focus. I measure progress. I evaluate behavior. I correct attitude. I thought that was enough. I believed that if he respected me, he would understand my love, yet lately when he looks at me, there is distance in his eyes. It unsettles me. I do not know how to close that distance without feeling like I am losing control. I am afraid that if I soften, he will become careless. I am afraid that if I admit I am wrong in some areas, he will stop taking me seriously. I was raised to believe that fathers must not bend.
Authority is not weakened by humility. In fact, it is strengthened by it. A father who can say, I may have handled that wrongly, does not lose respect. He builds trust. Ruth, speak honestly. What is happening inside you? I feel like I am constantly standing between my husband and my son. When Daniel raises his voice, I see Eli's spirit shrink. When Eli shuts down, I see Daniel grow more frustrated. I try to soften the atmosphere. I try to explain each one to the other. But I am tired. I want my husband to see that Eli is not rebellious. He is overwhelmed. The world today is not the same as it was when we were young. The pressure is different. The temptations are different. The expectations are heavier. Our son is trying to discover who he is while also trying to meet the standards we have placed before him. Sometimes I fear that we are more concerned about how successful he becomes than how whole he remains. I do not want to raise a successful man who feels emotionally alone. I want to raise a strong man who knows he is deeply loved, but I also recognize something about myself. I may be shielding him too much. I may be stepping in before he learns responsibility. I do it because I do not want him to break. Yet maybe growth requires some discomfort. What both of you are saying reveals something powerful. Daniel fears failure. Ruth fears emotional damage. Both fears are valid, but fear cannot be the foundation of parenting. Let me ask you something deeper. What kind of man do you want Eli to become when he is no longer under your roof?
I want him to become disciplined, God-fearing, strong in character, respected in his field, responsible in his relationships, and capable of leading his own family one day. I want him to stand firm when temptation comes. I want him to be the kind of man people trust.
And you, Ruth? I want him to be confident without arrogance. I want him to know his worth in Christ. I want him to feel safe expressing weakness without shame. I want him to choose wisdom not because he is forced, but because he understands it. I want him to know that home is not a battlefield but a refuge. Do you realize that both of your visions can coexist? Discipline and tenderness are not enemies. Strength and vulnerability are not opposites. Your son does not need one parent to win and the other to lose. He needs both of you to stand together. Right now, he feels the tension. Children are extremely perceptive. Even when you argue behind closed doors, he senses the division. That division creates insecurity. Insecurity creates silence. Silence creates distance. If you want change, it will not begin with correcting him. It will begin with repairing unity between the two of you. Daniel, are you willing to listen without immediately correcting?
I am willing to try. I do not want to lose my son emotionally. I do not want him to grow up and remember me as only strict and distant. I want him to know that everything I did came from love, even if I did not express it well.
Ruth, are you willing to step back at times and allow Daniel to lead, even when it feels uncomfortable? Yes, I want our home to feel stable. I want my husband and my son to speak freely again. I am willing to trust that we can find balance. Then here is your assignment. Do not begin with rules. Begin with conversation. Sit down together with Eli. Tell him what you fear. Tell him what you hope. Tell him where you think you have failed. Invite him to speak. Do not interrupt him. Do not defend yourself immediately. Let him feel heard. When a child feels heard, rebellion loses its fuel. When a child feels valued, silence begins to break. This is not about winning arguments. It is about rebuilding trust. Your son is not your enemy. He is a young man searching for identity in a loud world. And right now, he needs parents who are united more than parents who are perfect.
Thank you very much, Counselor Miriam. We will do all what you have said.
Thank you too for coming. I do hope you and your wife will take everything I have said into consideration. We will. Thank you, Mrs. Miriam.
We will like to take our leave.
Daniel, before you start the car, I need you to sit here with me for a moment. I do not want us to leave this place and go back home pretending we did not hear everything that was said in that room. I feel like if we drive away too quickly, we will carry the same silence back into our house.
I am not pretending nothing was said. I am thinking. I do not like sitting in a room while another man analyzes my family like a case study. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like I have failed.
You did not fail. We both walked in there because something is broken and we finally admitted it. That is not failure. That is responsibility. But I need to ask you something and I need you to answer me honestly, not as a father defending himself, not as a husband protecting pride, but as a man who wants his home to survive. When you look at Eli lately, what do you see?
I see a boy who is drifting and distractions pulling at him. I see laziness creeping in where discipline should be growing. I also see potential that could either become greatness or waste. That frightens me. I grew up with nothing guiding me. I made mistakes that cost me years and I do not want him learning the same lessons through pain.
When I look at him, I see a young boy trying to understand himself. Confusion in his eyes, not rebellion. I see someone who wants to please you but does not know how to reach your expectations. Sometimes when you speak to him, he stiffens. He answers carefully, like he is choosing words to avoid punishment instead of speaking freely.
So now I am the villain in my own house.
That is not what I am saying. You love him deeply. No one can deny that. But love is not only sacrifice and provision. Love is also presence. It is tone. It is listening. There are moments when he tries to explain himself and you cut him off because you think you already understand the situation. That shuts him down.
Because sometimes his explanations sound like excuses. I do not want him to grow into a man who explains failure instead of correcting it.
Correction without understanding can feel like rejection. Daniel, he is not you. His struggles are not the same as yours. The world he is growing up in is different. The pressure is louder. The comparisons are constant. Social media, competition, expectations from school, expectations from church, expectations from us. He is carrying more than we realize.
And you think I do not carry pressure? I wake up every day knowing that if I slip, this family shakes. I think about bills. I think about stability. I think about his future. Every strict word I speak comes from that weight. I am not harsh because I enjoy control. I am harsh because I am afraid of losing control.
That is the first time you have admitted that. You were afraid.
Yes, I am afraid. I am afraid that if I ease up, he will relax too much, and that if I become too soft, he will not respect me. That one day he will look back and say I did not prepare him for reality.
And I am afraid that one day he will look back and say he could not talk to his father. I am even much afraid that he will succeed outwardly and still feel emotionally distant from us. I do not want him choosing silence because he thinks honesty will disappoint you.
So what are you asking me to do? Stop correcting him. Lower standards. Pretend I do not see flaws.
No, I am asking you to let him see your heart, not only your standards. Tell him why you push him. Tell him about the mistakes you made. Tell him about the nights you were scared. Let him know you are not just a voice of authority but a man who has lived and learned.
You think that will change things?
I think it will change him. When a son understands his father's story, discipline feels different. It no longer feels like control. It feels like guidance.
And what about you? The counselor was right about something. Sometimes you step in before I even finish speaking. It makes me look divided in front of him.
You were right. I do that. I step in because I feel the temperature rising and I panic. I think I am protecting peace, but maybe I am creating confusion. I need to trust that you and I can speak as one, even when we approach things differently.
We have not been united. That is the truth. He feels the gap between us.
Yes. And children live inside the emotional climate of their parents. If we are tense, he breathes tension. If we are divided, he feels unstable. I do not want our son choosing sides between us.
Neither do I.
Then we need to change something tonight. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Tonight. We cannot call another counseling session if we go home and continue the same pattern.
What do you suggest?
When we get home, we do not lecture. Let's not analyze his behavior. We sit down and tell him we are learning too. We should also admit where we have been too rigid and where we have been inconsistent. We invite him to speak without interruption. If he says something that hurts, we listen anyway.
That will not be easy.
Growth never is. But Daniel, look at me. Our son is not far gone. He is still reachable. This is the moment that will define whether he draws closer to us or slowly builds walls we cannot see.
I do not want walls in my house. I want respect, but I also want relationship. I do not want him to fear me. I want him to trust me.
Then let us become the kind of parents who are strong and safe at the same time.
I will try, not halfway. I will truly try, but I need you with me, not against me.
I have never been against you. I have been fighting for our son. Now we fight together.
Can we pray before we drive?
Yes, we can.
Father, I don't even know how to start this. I've said words to you before. Quick ones, religious ones, the kind that sound right but don't cost anything. But tonight I don't have polished words. I don't have strength. I don't have pride left to protect. I'm tired, not just tired from work, tired from pretending I'm okay, tired from acting like I'm carrying everything when I'm actually collapsing inside. I thought being a man meant never bending. I thought leadership meant never admitting weakness. I thought if I just worked harder, pushed harder, shut down my feelings, everything would fix itself. But my house became quiet, my wife became distant, my son started whispering prayers because he was afraid to speak in his own home, and I didn't see it, or maybe I saw it, and chose not to face it. God, I heard him tonight, our son, crying, asking you to make me less angry, asking you to make his mother smile again. What kind of father makes his child pray for peace in his own house? I never meant to become this version of myself. I never planned to let pressure turn into poison. I never intended to let stress harden my tone, my face, my heart. But somewhere along the way, frustration started speaking for me, and pride kept me from apologizing. I've been fighting battles at work, and bringing the war home. That's not strength, that's damage. God, I don't want my son to remember his childhood as tension and slammed doors. I don't want my wife to feel alone while sitting next to me. I don't want my home to feel like a place everyone survives instead of rests. I don't know how to undo the words I've said. I don't know how to erase the fear I saw in his eyes. I don't know how to rebuild trust overnight, but I know this: I don't want to keep going like this. Break something in me that needs to be broken. Strip the pride that makes me defensive. Expose the fear that I keep hiding behind anger. Because the truth is, I've been afraid. Afraid of failing. Afraid of not providing enough. Afraid of being seen as weak. Afraid of not measuring up to what I think a man should be. And instead of admitting fear, I chose control. Instead of saying, I'm overwhelmed, I raised my voice. Instead of saying, I need help, I built walls. God, teach me how to lead without crushing. Teach me how to speak without wounding. Teach me how to stay when everything in me wants to escape pressure. I don't want space from my family. I want growth. I don't want distance. I want restoration. I don't want my son learning silence from me. I want him learning courage. If counseling is what we need, humble me enough to sit in that room without defending myself. If apologies are overdue, give me the maturity to say them without excuses attached. If change requires consistency, give me discipline to show up daily, not emotionally, not temporarily, but steadily. Heal what I strained, repair what I cracked, soften what I hardened, and God, protect my home, protect it from outside pressure, protect it from financial stress, protect it from words spoken in exhaustion, protect it from the slow drift that destroys families quietly. Let my son see love that lasts. Let my wife feel safe in my presence. Let laughter return without tension sitting underneath it. And if I start slipping again, remind me of tonight. Remind me of the sound of my child praying for peace. Remind me of the silence that almost became permanent. Remind me how close I came to losing something money cannot replace. I don't want to be right. I want to be restored. I don't want to win arguments, I want to win my family back. Teach me how to listen. Teach me how to pause before reacting. Teach me how to carry responsibility without letting it turn into rage. God, rebuild this house, not just the walls, the tone, the atmosphere, the spirit inside it, and start with me. Amen.
Amen. That prayer was a great relief.
Sure it is. Let's go, our son will be at home by now.